crafty with a stat here for us. It's 20-0 Colts at halftime in that game against the Miami Dolphins, and the Colts have scored on every possession they've had in the first half. That has not happened since Peyton Manning in 2006. Daniel Jones has led an offense to a stat line that has not been seen in Indianapolis since Peyton Manning was there. Absorb that. Absorb it. Just absorb that knowledge. That's a thing. That's a real stat that is actually there in the world. It's been spoken into the ether. Meanwhile, the Giants had 8 downs to score a touchdown and came away with 3 points. And we seem to just love throwing screens. What's changed for Daniel Jones? What's changed for Daniel Jones? And what hasn't changed with the New York Giants? Let's think about that. Let's ruminate over this, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? You and I, we're here. We're just a couple of guys or girls out there. But let's just have a little discussion here. Brian Daboll and Mike Kapka still with the New York Giants. Daniel Jones now with the Colts and Shane Steichen. Daniel Jones playing very well, efficiently, scoring points. The New York Giants playing exactly as they did with Daniel Jones there.
Are you ready to rep your team like never before? Then it's time to gear up at the Stay Tuned Sports Merch store, where we have everything you need to flex your fanhood in style. Throw it back with our exclusive 8-bit NFL helmet tees. Pixelated perfection for the old school football fanatic. Need something cozy for kickoff? Our Stay Tuned hoodies are built for bold fans and chilly Sundays. Decorate your den with championship banners that scream victory, because legends deserve a wall of fame. And for those early morning hot takes, grab a Stay Tuned coffee mug, or better yet, brew up a cup of our very own Stay Tuned coffee. Smooth, strong, and made for those perfect football Sunday mornings. So whether you're tailgating, couch coaching, or just vibing with your crew, we've got the gear to keep you tuned in. Head to bit.ly/StayTunedMerch right now and level up your fan game. Stay loud, stay proud, stay tuned.
Do you think that this is that first step to... Is this a putting the toe in the water to see the reaction, to see what people say about ostensibly bringing back the Redskins uniform just without the logo, to see what people's reaction are? And if you've read underneath any of the social media where Washington went ahead and posted this, because they posted it, obviously the NFL posted it, and a lot of the other reporters, Ari Miroff, Ian Rappaport, or your usual NFL people. Under all of those, people have been giving their reactions. So you think that this was a toe in the water situation?
I mean, I've been saying for a couple of years that that they'll eventually be the Redskins again. But yes, I kind of think that as far as today goes.
I had a thought, because here's the thing. I have a thought. It's very similar to yours, and it is along that case of this country lost its collective mind in 2020. Yes. Like, if you look at just between everything, if you look at what happened in just the year of 2020, now that we're 4 years beyond that, looking back, kind of maybe collecting a sense of common sense again, and I think that's the thing, is that looking back on it now, overreacted on a lot of things. There was a lot of shit that was going on. Okay. It appears I'm alone again yet today. Well, we're going to talk more about the Giants then. I have a monopoly on this. Welcome, everybody, to Stay Tuned Sports. I'm your boy King, not here with Jimbo today. He's a little under the weather, so he will not be joining us on the flagship show today. So probably going to be a little bit of shorter show today because we're going to just go and quickly run through topics as I don't really have any to really bounce things off of, do a little banter with, as we usually like to do here on Stay Tuned Sports. But we're here with you, and you can bant with me, and we can have a little back and forth. Thank you so much for joining us again. This is Stay Tuned Sports. My name is King. If you want to help us out, if you want to just give us a little bit of a boost there with YouTube, you can go ahead and give us a like and a share. That helps us out tremendously. More people get here, more people see us, maybe more people like us. That's fantastic. It will be a self-fulfilling cycle there. Also, if you're brand new here, like anything that you see, think I'm a pretty handsome guy. Do I have a very sexy voice that you like to fall asleep to? Some people do. I know that. Anyway, if you like any of that, please get that, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Let you know whenever we go live, which is a lot this time of year as we cover a lot of football games, a lot of breaking news, which happened yesterday, which we're also going to talk about today. So, again, you can do all that. If you want to help us out a little bit more in the cash money and the financial aspect of it, you can go ahead and go up to the top of the chat, which is wide open, by the way. Come in, say hi, say hello, say how you doing. Also, these links are in the description below. Just keep that in mind. We have links for our donation station. You can go ahead and donate anything you'd like. We just got another great donation there from Pecan. That makes the total up to 60. Pecan, by himself, has donated $60 to the great and wonderful Stay Tuned Sports donation station. If you want to get your name into the ticker where Pecans is, you got to donate more than $60. Get your name in there, and we will gladly put you there. But we, of course, will take any and all donations. You want to give us 5 cents, we'll do 5 cents. In fact, I'll take a bit of string if you got it. Thank you so very much for all your help. Also, we have the merch store. Those links in the two spots I mentioned before, top of chat, description below video. That Jaxon Dart shirt I made before the season, really starting to look good. That's a good one to want to go buy right now. Get that Jaxon Dart shirt at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store link. Again, top of the chat, description below. We got more shirts in there as well. The 8-bit shirts, Bengals Sell the Team shirt, Orchard Park Buffalo Football Mafia with the Charging Buffalo Wing. We got coffee, we got mugs, we got championship banners for the Eagles, for Notre Dame, I think we got in there too. More of those coming along as well. New stuff being added all the time, so please go right ahead and click on those links. Also, got a link to the Discord in both of those spots as well. Come and join. Very small community right now. Super small, but you can come in. You can join, kind of help grow it, help build it, help the chat become a little bit more active there in the Discord. That will help us out tremendously. Thank you so very much if you decide to do that. Also, there's a link for my nephew, Thomas, so you can go ahead and vote for him to be the Youth Athlete of the Year. That would be tremendously helpful and wonderful. The kid absolutely deserves it. You can go ahead and donate to vote more there, but even if you just give one free vote, that certainly helps. Every little bit helps. Thank you so very much. Now, let's jump, obviously, into the biggest story of the day, the biggest story of the last 2 days, obviously. The New York Giants deciding to go ahead and start Jaxon Dart, pulling Russell Wilson, which, granted, after watching that game on Sunday night, and I truly think the spot where he, in that goal-to-go situation, Giants need a touchdown to stay in the game, which the Chiefs were letting the Giants stay in the game, by the way. So, like I've said this a number of times, the Chiefs played the game that the Giants needed the Chiefs to play in order for the Giants to win that game. So the Giants are in a go-to-go situation. They get a illegal shift penalty. So that knocks them back from, I think they were at the 2, knocks them back to like the 14-yard line. In 4 plays, Russell Wilson threw to the back wall of the end zone 3 times. I think the other play was a run. And on a 4th down play, he throws the ball away. 4th down, end goal, need a touchdown to get back in the game, throws it away. Why are we throwing it away? What are we doing? I think, honestly, that was the death knell for Russell Wilson's time in New York. That particular play, that 4th down play right there, I think that was the official one that put the kibosh on it. You ended it right there. And so now Brian Daboll went yesterday. On Monday, he was very non-committal about who was going to be the starting quarterback. Yesterday, it came out that the Giants were going to start Jaxon Dart. And Brian Daboll came out today and said, yes, they are indeed planning to start Jaxon Dart now for the rest of the season. It is his team now. They are not going to platoon people back and forth, maybe. I have no idea. But this, and I'm not the first person to say this. I'm not the only person to say this. But this feels like Brian Daboll's last gasp in New York. Like the Giants brought him in. I don't know if anybody remembers. They brought him in from Buffalo because he was the quarterback whisperer. He was the quarterback guy. He was, look what he did. Look how he changed Josh Allen. He made Josh Allen from a guy everybody was like, what a bust for these 2 years. And Brian Daboll came in, and next thing you know, oh my God, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's an MVP. He's all these other things. Like, Josh Allen, he's dating Haley Atwell. Or not Haley Atwell, Haley Steinfeld. Haley Atwell wouldn't be bad either. That's very fun. That's two very fine women right there. So that would be, either way, whoever he was dating was fine. But yeah, like, it was like, okay, well, let's bring him in and see what he could do with Daniel Jones. And that first season, we saw, the Giants did well. They beat Baltimore. We beat the Packers in England. We won games that nobody thought we were going to win against. We were winning. And it's like, hey, maybe this guy, maybe he unlocked something here with this team. Maybe he got something going. All right. The second half of the season, the Giants really did fall off. We kind of stumbled into the playoffs. Then Daniel Jones has that, that's the Daniel Jones that you're seeing in Indianapolis now, was that Daniel Jones at the Minnesota playoff game, where the Giants went up to Minnesota, won that game. Both Daniel Jones played just immaculate football. Saquon Barkley had one of his best games as a Giant in that game. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. Now, the next week we got our asses handed to us by the Eagles, but it looked bright. It looked brighter. For the first time in a while, Giants fans were like, we got hope. It is dangerous. Hope is very dangerous, but we have hope. Of course, we all know the story. Since then, the next 2 years with Daniel Jones there in New York, not great. The Giants, of course, ended up getting rid of Saquon after the 2023 season. He went to Philadelphia. Became the highest rusher, or should have been the league record for rushing yards in a season if they didn't sit him for the last game against the Giants. He was a little miffed by that, and a lot of Eagles fans were. A lot of people in the NFL were. I think Saquon was a little upset by that too. But then also goes on to win a ring. Also, what happened there in the 2024 season is that the Giants Daboll just cuts Daniel Jones. Says, I can't make him work. He's not a good quarterback. Can't work. Just get rid of him. So the Giants did. They just cut him. Minnesota picked him up as an emergency quarterback for the rest of the season. He never saw a football field again as far as the rest of the year. And everybody kind of said that was it. Daniel Jones, what is he going to do? Maybe a career backup somewhere. He'll be fine. He'll figure something out. Now we come to this year. He's got now Brian Daboll. He's got Russell Wilson. And you're like, well, Russell's had a rough couple years, but maybe with the quarterback guru that Brian Daboll says and that he thinks he fucking is, he'll be able to go ahead and work some magic with him. Get every last drop out of Russell Wilson. We also got Jameis Winston, who we all thought, listen, if anything else, at least it'll be fun. At least it'll be fun to watch. And then we went up into the draft and got Jaxon Dart at the end of the first round, which a lot of people thought that was a great move. All right, Joe Shade actually making a good draft for once in his fucking life. All right, maybe this is something. Maybe we got some changes here. Preseason comes. Oh, good vibes. Everybody's got the vibes. If the Giants could win games based on vibes alone, we would have been great, especially with just Jameis Winston there. But Jameis Winston, again, hasn't seen the field because the Giants have had him as the emergency quarterback, the number 3 quarterback. So we've nary seen him. And, of course, the Giants got rid of Tommy DeVito. He's up in New England now. Start Russell Wilson. And the first game against Washington is shit. Second game against Dallas, he has like a career game against Dallas. Now we're finding out that that's just because Dallas' defense is atrociously ass. Like, that was a mirage of a game. It's like, oh, maybe Russell picked up on something. Maybe this. No. And then, of course, we all saw what happened with the Kansas City game. And that was it for, the fans. That was obviously it for Daboll. So now they're going to be starting Jaxon Dart. But to me, like, Daboll should have been fired at the end of last year. I've said this many times. Anybody who's watched the show knows that I've said that. He should have been fired at the end of last year. And the most damning 2 words that I think you could use for Brian Daboll and why he should not be the coach of the Giants and maybe not a head coach anywhere else, especially be called a quarterback guru. Daniel Jones. 2 words, but they damn Brian Daboll to hell. Because he was brought in to work with this, get the most that he could out of this raw talent. Athletic, can throw the ball, can run the ball, super smart, can see the field, all these things. That's why they got him out of Duke. And everybody was like, oh, who's this? Why did they get him? Oh, this is terrible. I remember that draft night. Giants fans were up in arms. And again, he never really had a chance here in New York, if you want me to be honest. At least from the fans' perspective. The fans never wanted him here, unfortunately. I was not one of them. I was a Daniel Jones apologist. I was a Daniel Jones defender from the day he got here to the day he left and even afterwards. And seeing what he's doing now in Indianapolis, and there's some Giants fans with some hard cope out there being like, it's only 3 games. He played only bad team. Well, all right. Oh, everybody said, Denver was going to be a great team. Before Indianapolis went into played Miami, everybody's like, Miami's going to win this game. The Colts got no shot. Miami they're coming back here. They're going to look good. And then all of a sudden, the game's over. Oh, Miami's ass. So whatever the Colts did is not bad. Still no turnovers. They've punted 1 time. He's put up numbers that the NFL hasn't seen since 1940. Like the stat lines that are coming from Daniel Jones in just 3 games with the Indianapolis Colts is better than anything he put up for the fucking Giants. So now Brian Daboll gets another quarterback that this time it'll work for the quarterback guru, for the guy that can get the best out of every quarterback. Didn't work with Daniel Jones, didn't work with Tommy DeVito, didn't work with Russell Wilson. But it'll work with Jaxon Dart this time. That's all we need to do is start Jaxon Dart, and that'll change everything. By the way, this read a little bit here from the article here. This is from ESPN, the mothership. The New York Giants coach Brian Daboll didn't provide much insight into why he benched quarterback Russell Wilson for rookie Jaxon Dart during his press conference, aside from saying that it was his decision. Bullshit. That probably came from Mara. That probably came from everybody. It's like, stop it. Get him out of there. Throwing a ball away on 4th down. Fuck that guy. Daboll went on to say the conversations that I've had with all these young men will be private. The details will be private. All I can say is that we're going with Jackson, and we're getting ready to play. So I'm not going to add too much to it. Those are private conversations. It's my decision, and we're going with Jackson. Daboll said that the change is for the rest of the season, and that Wilson will serve as Dart's backup, which I would say, fuck that. Get Wilson in there, and Winston in there, and trade Wilson if you can. Get something, if anything, for trading the fucking Cincinnati. Daboll said that the changes for the rest of the season. Oh, I already said that. It was reported that before the draft that Dart was Daboll's quarterback of choice when the Giants were selecting in the first round. The Ole Miss product won the Giants coach over with the way he handled the pre-draft process. Dart was made the backup ahead of veteran Jameis Winston before week 1, and that move, a move that was a source said was pushed for by Daboll. The coach is now the driving force behind going with the rookie just after 3 weeks. Yeah, it's my decision. Again, we've had conversations, and I've said this numerous times, and I have plenty of conversations. That's the direction I wanted to go, and that's the direction we are going to go. There's a good conversation we had. Those are private. So, Jesus Christ, I fucking hate this guy. The Giants, 0-3, are seeking their first win of the season Sunday at home against the undefeated Chargers. Yeah, let's throw them in there against one of the better defenses in the NFL. That'll really help. That'll really help with that. As ELS even put in the chat here, the Chargers are currently 4th in the NFL for fewest points allowed this season. Packers are first, Seahawks second, 49ers third, and the Chargers have only allowed 50 points so far in 3 games. So that's great. That's fantastic. We've had 3 games, haven't put it together collectively, and I made the decision to play Jackson, said Dable. Dable and the Giants are clearly heavily invested in Dart's success. All eyeballs are on the 25th pick in this year's draft. I expect him to prepare. We expect him to go out here and get better each time he plays. It's not always going to be perfect, but I do think that he has the right makeup and athleticism. And look, we're going to do everything we can to help him be the best player. Except, block for him, scheme for him, get right plays in there, call right plays for him, be a good coach, anything like that. Right, Brian? Yeah. Yeah, I picked the Chargers too, ELS. Just a little peek into the Friday forecast there. I have picked the Chargers over the Giants. I don't think anybody who picks the Giants right now is silly. A Giants fan or not, you can't pick the Giants. The Chargers are hardly a soft landing, they say. They have a top 10, as we mentioned, top 4 defense, really. Dart had a strong summer and preseason, but this will be a level that he has never faced. So, that's my question with this move is this is a desperate move by a desperate man, and it feels like he doesn't care what happens to Jaxon Dart. Brian Dable doesn't give a shit. So long as Jaxon Dart can win a couple games and save his job, he doesn't care. But if he doesn't, he goes out there and sucks and gets murdered by the offensive line, ruins his development, ruins his first season, ruins his confidence, anything like that, well, then Brian Dable's like, I'm getting fired anyway, so what do I care? What do I care about the kid? So, again, this is throwing another quarterback onto the pyre of Brian Dable. And you already had Daniel Jones sacrificed to Brian Dable, and now we're seeing what happened. Now, again, was Russell Wilson any good anymore? Did he have any juice left? I don't know. That's a big question after seeing him in Denver and then seeing him at Pittsburgh last year, especially down the stretch in Pittsburgh last year. Like, you're sitting there thinking, nah, like it's not, there's not any, maybe there was just no juice with, no juice left worth the squeeze, as it were, as I try to talk here. So maybe that's not all on Dable, but again, when you come out and say that you're the quarterback whisperer, you're the guy that can get the most out of all these quarterbacks, and you're the guy who fixed Josh Allen. I hate to tell everybody this. It's starting to seem like Josh Allen working in the offseason, working on his game, getting advice from other people and other coaches and other players. It seems like Josh Allen helped Josh Allen, and Brian Dable had nothing to do with it. Because if the track record of the New York Giants right now is any indication, Brian Dable has done nothing to success. And I'll be honest, that first year that the Giants went to the playoffs and beat Minnesota, they won despite of Brian Dable, not because of him. And basically, like, Daniel Jones won Brian Dable a Coach of the Year award that he never deserved and clearly should be. I mean, if I'm the NFL, I would take that trophy back because it was clear it had nothing to do with Brian Dable. Brian Dable was a gigantic waste of space, a gigantic piece of shit, and I think it's a disservice to Jaxon Dart to have him start now with Brian Dable desperate to start. Like, it's starting to feel like the Chicago Bears, where you get a hopeful quarterback, but you have a desperate coach trying to win. He's gonna throw every piece of shit at the wall that he can to see what sticks. Come hell or high water, development of his quarterback be damned, confidence of his quarterback be damned, and then when that fails and that fucks up, then he's gone, and the Giants will bring in another coach, and they'll see whether they like this guy or not. Did they draft? It's not my quarterback that I drafted, so they're not going to be nearly as invested in the kid, and it'll just be the same cycle. And then the quarterback fails, they'll get rid of the quarterback. The coach will get a quarterback that he wants, but he'll be on the hot seat. And then if he doesn't develop fast enough, then the coach will. It's a never-ending cycle. We've seen it with Chicago for the last 2 decades. Now we're seeing it with the Giants, and there needs to be a hard reset on everything, on coaching staff, on front office staff, on roster. Keep the couple of pieces that work here, that we know work, that are great and talented pieces. Flush everything else, start over. Fresh. It might hurt for a season or two, but if you don't do it now, it's going to hurt for a decade or two. And we're already a decade and a half into this bullshit when it comes to being a Giants fan, which I am, unfortunately. So my point is, again, I'm not rooting against the Giants. I'm not rooting against Jaxon Dart. I want him to do well. But that being said, the expectation that the Giants will somehow, because they put in Jaxon Dart, all of a sudden be good, and by good I mean even be mediocre. If the Giants win 7 or 8 games, that would be a miracle. And that's not going to happen. Not with Brian Daboll, and not with a rookie quarterback. I don't care who your rookie quarterback is. And on this team, with this coaching staff, with Shane Bowen as your defensive coordinator, who can't coach himself out of a wet paper bag, with Mike Kafka, who I swear makes up plays with crayons, and Brian Daboll, who is one of the worst head coaches in the NFL in the last 3 years, but everybody still wants to suck his big, fat, Ozempic-sucking fucking ass. I don't get. Yes, we're live, Lloyd. We're actually live. It's just me this time, though, as Jimbo is laid up, sick, unwell. I think he actually had a bit of a laughing attack once he saw the Giants, and Daboll was still there with the Giants. They're going to start Dart. He's just kind of doubled over in laughter, and it made him sick. I get it. I can understand that. But yeah, so the summary of this whole ordeal. There might be some Giants fans out there that are excited that we're starting Jaxon Dart. There might be some of the talking heads out there that are like, oh, it's great. We're going to see Jaxon Dart. I'm not excited because I feel bad for the kid. I think this is throwing the kid to the Lions, throwing the kid to the Wolves out of desperation to save Brian Daboll's own fucking fat Ozempic-sucking fucking ass. And it only has the potential to really... Now, again, do I hope I'm wrong? Do I hope that the kid performs well? Do I hope that the Giants perform well? Do I hope all of that happens? Absolutely. I want all that to happen. But if we're looking at reality, we're looking at logic, don't expect it. And that's what I mean. If the Giants only score 6 points or 9 points in this game coming up here against the Chargers, don't be shocked. And if the Giants fans then start booing, then, I mean, that just is what it is. ELS saying, oh, man, I was running on just caffeine and no soul yesterday, which explains the spelling errors. Hey, you run on caffeine every day here. And I don't know, I've been kind of funky lately. I don't know what's up. Like, I get real tired all of a sudden. Like, yesterday, I was really tired. Just started sleeping all day. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. Is this it? Is this what death is? Is this dying? Am I dying? I could be. I have no idea. Until I die, I'll be on here, though. So enough about me bitching about Brian Daboll and these New York Giants. I mean, the New York Giants really don't deserve any of my time anyway. But let's run through some of the NFL news here real quick. The Eagles have placed linebacker Nolan Smith Jr. Out on injured reserve. He's going to be out until at least November 2nd. He could return for the Green Bay Packers game on November 10th. He had a left tricep surgery a week after the Super Bowl and aggravated the injury last week. Same tricep and everything. Now the plan is to let him rest and then return after the team's November 2nd bye. So they're trying to hopefully rest him up, get that tricep some rest, and get him back for kind of the stretch run there towards the end of the season. So that's a big loss on a defense that's kind of been questionable for this season so far. But Oh, did I have it? Did I say ELS? I met you, Lloyd. Did I say ELS? Okay. Yeah, I told you I have early onset Alzheimer's. I told you that. We all know that. We all know that I'm just dude, I'm one sneeze away from sniffing the afterlife. Like, let's be honest here. The Eagles also moved. They signed Marcus Epps, a safety, tight end Cameron Latu. Wasn't he on the? Was Latu on the Redskins last year? I thought. Okay, and cornerback Perry Nickerson to the active roster. And they've made a couple other roster moves there for the Eagles. So again, a little bit of trouble there on the defense. Will that affect them coming up in this next game against the Buccaneers? Big game for both the Buccaneers and the Eagles. I'm excited to see what happens in that game. Again, I think I'm going to go with the Bucs in that game, just based on history. You know, Buccaneers kind of kick their ass all the time. Tom Brady. Now, here's a fun story because obviously we know the last couple of weeks people were talking about because they saw Tom Brady in the coaching booth during the Monday night game that the Raiders had against the Chargers, and of course we all know he's a Fox analyst and that he also goes into the meetings now. The NFL kind of lifted some of the restrictions that they had on him last year, so he could be in some of the player meetings and coaches meetings to discuss things before the broadcast so they can actually, talk and be a good broadcaster. So people have kind of been bringing up a lot of that stuff and being like, oh, there's improprieties. He's getting inside information from these people. Oh, my God. In his weekly newsletter entitled Do Your Job, published on Wednesday, Tom Brady wrote that only the paranoid and distrustful believe that there is a conflict in his roles. I love football, Tom said. At its core, it is a game of principles, and with all the success it has given me, I feel I have a moral and ethical duty to the sport, which is why the point where my roles in it which is why the point where my roles in it intersect is not actually a point of conflict, despite what the paranoid and distrustful might believe. Rather, it is a place from which my ethical duty emerges to grow, evolve, and improve the game that has given me everything. I have a question, Tom, because I know Tom Brady is going to watch this show clearly, so I'll address Tom directly. Tom, how you doing? King, it's nice to meet you. You talk about only a conflict of interest, despite that's what only the paranoid and distrustful might believe of all these different roles that you have. If I can just a point of order, if you will, Thomas Brady. Why would people be so paranoid and distrustful about you? Let's dig on that a little bit. Why might the general football watching public who have been around for, let's say, 25 years or so, watching football, let's just say, watching football for the last 25 years. What would make those people be so paranoid and maybe distrustful of the things that you're doing behind the scenes at football games, at meetings, at broadcasts, and coaching booths? Why might that be a concern for people? The floor is yours, Tom. I leave it to you. Now, you can sit there and say everything is baseless. You can sit there and say everything is unproven. You can sit there and say all those things. But you did serve suspension times. The Patriots did get picks taken and had fines of their own. Let us not forget the quote unquote Spygate allegedly, the quote unquote deflated balls allegedly, and various other allegedies going on. Maybe there's a reason that a significant portion of the football population might be paranoid and distrustful. Love you, Thomas. Maybe just a little bit. I would just say be a little bit more self-aware. I know you don't have to be. You You got the fine jawline. You got the buccal fat surgery, so you stuck the cheeks on like that. So I got that now. You're banging models and fucking actresses and superstars all over the place now. After you divorced the world's richest supermodel, so like you're not hurting. You got hundreds of millions of dollars. You're a part owner of an NFL team, which is just a license to print money. As I hit my microphone, sorry about that. All of those things. I know that doesn't matter to you. So you being self-aware is not, that's like asking a Hollywood actor or actress to be self-aware. It's not going to happen. I get it. But maybe just ruminate on that. Think about that for a little bit. On to some little better news here, as we're just scrolling through news headlines here. And ELS mentioned this a little bit before. We had the initial 126 nominees for the modern era of the NFL Hall of Fame. 128 modern era nominees. Some of the more notable names: Phillip Rivers, Alex Smith, Greg Olsen, Jason Witten, Frank Gore, LaShawn McCoy, offensive lineman David DeCastro, Marquise Pouncey, defensive lineman Geno Atkins, Jarrell Casey, linebacker Thomas Davis. A screening committee will reduce those number of candidates from 128 to 50 in October, with the full 50-member selection committee reducing the list to 25 and then 15, obviously, and then be voted on before Super Bowl Sunday. There you get the final list of inductees. Four players have already guaranteed themselves spots in the final 15 after making it down to the final 7 players in 2025. And that's Willie Anderson, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, and Adam Vinatieri. How it's not Eli Manning, I don't understand. The other returning finalists are Eli Manning, Fred Taylor, Steve Smith Sr., Reggie Wayne, Jari Evans, Marshall Yanda, Terrell Suggs, and Darren Woodson. In addition to the 15 modern era finalists, the selection committee will consider 3 senior, 1 coach, and 1 contributor for the class of 2026. Between 4 and 8 new members will be elected in the second year of this current format. Only 4 people got in last year for the smallest class in 20 years. Breeze and Fitzgerald are considered to be the top candidates of this particular year for first ballot Hall of Famer, which Eli should have gotten last year. I'm just going to put that out there. If Eli doesn't make it this year, I'm throwing a riot. I mean, I was rioting last year. I did a little mini riot. It'll be a bigger riot this year if Eli doesn't make it. I'm just going to put that out there. Just putting it out there. So all the voters out there, understand that. Understand if there's a riot, it's on your hands, and it's your fault. You want that on your hands? Do you want that on your hands? I don't think you do. Vote 10, baby. Vote Eli. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to the people. Just vote Eli for the Hall of Fame. Let me scroll through some other stuff before we get on out of here. Anything good? Anything bigger? No. Well, we talked about Parsons sacking Dak is going to be painful. I think we covered that a little bit yesterday. And yeah, I think that's about it for that. ELS does bring up the fact that the Cardinals are going to be debuting their rivalries uniform, which again I think they're so close to being. I love the sand color. I think that was an idea for the alternate for them that I think really hit. I've made a couple of sand colored concepts for the Cardinals in the past. I love the Arizona State logo on the shoulders, on the sleeves, what's known as sleeves in football, the sleeve caps, I guess we'll call them. That has the Arizona flag inside the state of Arizona outlined. Love that. It's great. Not sure about the speckled clay shit on the jerseys, and I don't know about having the logo kind of looking like it's half airbrushed, half not. Looks weird. If they just did the logo recolor like it is on the back of the jersey, where it's just the outline instead of being black is the cardinal red, the sand main portion. They have the beak is copper. Then I think that would have worked on a helmet too. Trying to do like a weird airbrushing thing, it just seems like the front of the Cardinals' head It's like he was dipping his head in blood or something. It looks weird. So I'm not really happy as far as that goes. Like, it was so close to being great and perfect, and it looks like they just missed the mark. If they do a couple tweaks, I think that would be a good uniform to base maybe some new, better-looking home and roads on. To be honest with you, I think that would be a good base to start with. Is that rivalries uniform that they have? So they will be debuting that tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football, which you can watch right here. Watch it along with me. I can't watch the whole game because we can't broadcast it. You know that. You know that. You know that's not going to happen. But you can watch along with us. You can sync along the game with us, and you can listen to my beautiful dulcet tones as we talk about the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks battling down there in the desert. And we can, just make remarks about the Cardinals uniforms all night, which is fine. Which is what I do. I'm a uniform nerd, so that's what we like to do here. But, yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. I mean, again, it's a lot shorter show today. Jimbo not feeling well, sick, under the weather, so we'll all wish him well. Hopefully, he will be better coming up with the Friday forecast, and he'll be able to do some of his picks, considering those picks about Thursday night, to make sure that we do get it out there. Jimbo, he is picking those rivalry uniform-wearing Arizona Cardinals. I will be picking the Seattle Seahawks for that game so that we have it on record. So it's that. You can hear it. You can see it. It's there. Also, if you join the Friday Forecast Picks League, which I think, listen, you can join late. You can do whatever. That's fine to do the weekly champions. I'm back-to-back winners of the picks, by the way. Weekly winners. Me, your boy King, looking good. So hopefully I can continue that streak and go for 3 in a row this week. But again, you can join that over at, I think it's bit.ly STS Pick'em. That's bit.ly/STS Pick'em. You can go over there and do that and join and pick with us, everybody in the STS community, including me and Jimbo. ELS, one piece of news here as well, that the San Francisco 49ers are working out Shiloh Sanders for the to see if they're going to sign him to the practice squad or not. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. So I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports on this Wednesday for the flagship show. Again, without Jimbo, unfortunately. If you liked anything that you saw here, please hit that like, share button. If you're brand new here and you're thinking about subscribing, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. You won't regret it. I mean, look at me. Is this a face that you'll regret? Is this a face that you would regret, really? I have a couple ex-girlfriends that probably do, but what are you going to do? You won't. You won't regret it by hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. Of course, if you want to help us out, down in the description below, we have links for our donation station, for our merch store, for our Discord. If you want to join that and kind of help the community grow, get better, and get more lively and active, you can go join that as well. And, of course, my nephew Thomas, still up for Youth Athlete of the Year. Go give him a vote. He deserves it. We love that kid. So that'll do it for this episode, and I will see you tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football when the Seattle Seahawks take on the Arizona Cardinals. Until then, my name is King. This has been Stay Tuned Sports, and you have a great rest of your Wednesday. It's White People Taco Night, baby. Let's go.